Yo, what is up, you guys? Fleur here, and today we have a Blacktop gameplay on NBA 2K13, and no, this one's not live. And this one, the topic will be the conference finals and the NBA playoffs. You know, in the West, we have the Grizzlies versus the Spurs, and in the East, we have the Heat and the Pacers. So yeah, this video is probably going to be up late, and yeah, so a game or two might have been played already, I don't know, but I'm doing this before any of the games have been played. So I'm just going to talk about like who I think is going to win and how it's going to go down. Yeah, so real quick, in this game, Blacktop game, I did end up doing pretty good. I got the point guard, so you know it's going to be a good game. And, you know, we won this game, and I went off pretty much. So, yeah, that's about it for that. And go back to my topic. So, going to start off in the West, talk about the Heat. Oh, my gosh, my bad. That was terrible. But, yeah, going to talk about the Grizzlies and the Spurs. Yeah, so I think this series is going to be a tough one. You know, the Grizzlies have lost game 1 in both of their series so far, so I think they'll end up losing game 1, but then they'll use it as confidence boost. I think the game will be close, but yeah, I think they'll end up losing game 1, but they'll take game 2, then maybe try and use that momentum and take both the games at home in Memphis. So we'll see how that goes. I think the Grizzlies will end up winning this series in 6, but yeah, so like, I think the age might catch up to the Spurs. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I think they might get a little bit tired. And, you know, Grizzlies are kind of a younger team, I guess you could say that. You know, especially with Mike Conley at point guard. He's really emerging in these playoffs. He had a really good series against the Thunder. So I think he'll have a good series, and he'll help the team win. And, you know, that'll be a good matchup with him and Tony Parker. But, yeah, so Tim Duncan, you know, he'll be himself. But, you know, with Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol, big men for the Grizzlies, if they keep playing the way they have been, then that's going to be pretty tough to stop. And, yeah, so I'm just going to go with the Grizzlies. I think they'll end up winning it in 6. Then, you know, go over to the East, and it's the Heat and the Pacers. I mean, yeah, I think the Pacers could have a chance. I mean, they do have a good young team with talent. Lots of athleticism, I'll say that for sure. Especially with Roy Hibbert down in the paint, he could, you know, cause some trouble for the Heat, because, you know, there are a lot of driving players that like to get to the basket, and, you know, Roy Hibbert could, you know, make some good stops. But, you know, I think the Heat will end up winning it in 5. Could go to 6 games, but I think the Heat win it in 5, and I think every game will be close. There might be like one blowout, but it's going to be ended in 5 by the Heat, but that won't reflect how close the series will be. I think the scores will be really close, and they'll be really tight games. But yeah, Heat will end up winning it, go to the finals to play the Grizzlies. Yeah, so I hate LeBron, but yeah, I think he's just too much. They'll probably have Paul George guarding him. That could, you know, be a good matchup, but, you know, LeBron's LeBron, and he'll get the job done. And, you know, I mean, like, they have a lot of bench talent, too, as well, which they kind of have on the Pacers, because their bench isn't very strong, as you saw. Like, when George Hill went out, they were just done for. I mean, they don't have a very strong bench like the Heat do. So I think the Heat win it in 5, go to the finals, and they'll match up the Grizzlies and Heat, and I think the Heat will win that in 5. So they'll repeat, of course, which I don't want to say. I just hate the Heat. I hope the Pacers win their series. But, yeah, I think it'll end up being the Heat and the Grizzlies in the finals. But, yeah. That's all I have to say, really. This game is a little long. And I got a nice dunk right there, but yeah, we end up winning this Blacktop gameplay. I had a lot of points in this one. And, yeah, so comment below with your predictions on the end of these playoffs, and, you know, leave some thoughts on other series that have already happened, like from the first and second rounds, you know, Heat Bulls with all that. And, you know, just talk playoffs, talk NBA, I guess. And, you know, if you want to talk about the NBA draft coming up, you know, the draft combine was over the weekend. I guess I'll talk about that for a little bit. But I guess I followed Chad Ford on Twitter, and he's like the big guy on the NBA draft. And, you know, Victor Oladipo has some crazy measurements, I should say. So look out for him. His stock might rise a little bit. And, you know, some point guards that stood out were like Trey Burke and Shane Larkin also stood out. I think a few people didn't really participate that much. I mean, Nerlens Noel has his ACL messed up and stuff, but like Trey Burke and Otto Porter did not participate that much. So, yeah, Ben McLemore as well. He didn't participate really. Some guys, Steven Adams, center from Pittsburgh, his stock I think will be rising. He was shooting 70. He's a center, but he was shooting 72% from like 15 feet. I saw a tweet from Chad Ford, and also they're talking a lot about Tim Hardaway Jr., shooting guard from Michigan. He's talking about his stock rising, shooting great, and some guys that didn't do too well, like Shabazz Muhammad from UCLA. I guess he shot terribly, and he didn't really have too good of a combine. So yeah, just leave any information you have on the combine, any thoughts on that, and of course the playoffs as well. So yeah, NBA playoffs, draft, combine, all that good stuff. Comment below, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the gameplay. I'll leave a beat for you guys, and yeah, so that'll be it. Leave a like I said, and subscribe if you aren't already. And also, as always, hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day. Peace.